In a moment of crisis, someone in a domestic violence situation might have every reason to leave, but their pet is often the reason they decide to stay.
And now the statistics are frightening. According to the National Sheriff's Association, 72% of domestic violence victims report their abuser has threatened their pet as well. Awful. It puts victims in a difficult situation, to say the least, in trying to escape, wanting to escape and being unable to do so, but wanting to protect their pets also.
Absolutely true.
As part of her Canine Kate series, Caitlin Ross discovered a charity in Atlanta that now is offering some unique help.
It's really an incredible program. This charity was started out of necessity. The founder lost a pet to domestic violence and never wanted another survivor to feel that same pain. So she founded Ahisma House to help victims save their pets.
Come on.
Kathy Bennett can laugh now. She can smile again. She survived.
I just had to get out of there, but I imagine that some people would stay.
When she was escaping domestic violence, she could never imagine leaving her dogs behind.
Those are my kids. You know, those are my four-legged kids. They're a part of me, so they have to be there.
That's how all of the survivors who work with Ahisma House feel. Their pets are part of their family, and they could never leave them in danger.
Animals are a huge support emotionally for survivors, and especially families with children. Sometimes the bond between a child and their pet is really powerful when they're in homes where abuse is happening.
Executive Director Myra Rasnick says only 12% of domestic violence shelters nationwide accept pets when the victim leaves their abuser, so people can feel like they have no place to go. That's where Ahisma House steps in. They foster the survivor's animal and keep them safe until they can be reunited with their family.
I was taking a golden retriever to meet his mother, and we pulled into the parking lot, and he immediately recognized her in the car, and his tail started wagging. And we got out of the car, and she just burst into tears.
They have a 24-hour emergency hotline that people can call to get help for their pets in crisis, and they have a 96% reunification rate.
It's the best feeling to be able to do that for people and for the pets.
Kathy says it has made all the difference for her.
I had to go back to get my babies, and I had to know that they had a safe place to go to.
Ahisma House is located here in Atlanta, but their foster networks help animals all over the state of Georgia. We put all of the information on how to donate to their cause and the emergency line for help on our website, 11alive.com.